Okay.
Yep.
How you doing, guys? This video is it's kind of a repeat video. We did one a while back, I should say, probably last year. But just if some of you guys are having a little trouble because with the throw ball aspect of this, because this is probably one of the harder things to learn. So I just want to start this video, do like a start to finish, okay? Just giving you all the basics. So this way, hopefully I cover enough of the questions you guys are asking. But first one is, when you want to attach your throw ball, all we're going to do is take a small bite of this throw line and then just basically tie a loop in it. Alright, that's pretty much it. And then you would leave that in. You don't have to ever take that out. Alright? And basically what you're going to do with that is pass that loop through the eye and then over the bag. And then that's your connection. It's just a lot easier than tying knots, untying knots. Alright, so that's always going to be your connection. And then when you go to tie your rope on, after it's over the limb, you just basically reverse it, go back over the bag, and then it just comes right out. So like I said, that loop will always stay in. It just keeps it simple and easy for you guys, so you're not tying knots all the time. Okay, so now when you get to your tree, this is definitely the hardest part. What you guys should be practicing all the time is, start off on a low limb, start off on a 10-12 foot high limb, and just constantly throw your throw ball till you're constantly hitting that limb consistently, and then you can, from that point on, you can always go to the next limb up, and then after you hit that one successfully several times, to the next one up. Basically what you're doing is you're learning timing with this, when to release this. And that's basically what it comes down to as far as your success rate. Okay. So what I do is I just take a bite of line, all right, pass it through the eye, and then over your finger. Okay. 2 fingers, thumb. All right. You can as short as you want or as long as you want. Okay, and that's going to be based on how short or tall you are. Like Joey would, it would be probably like here.
You bastard.
But, had to get him.
That was awesome.
Had to get him. I couldn't let that one go. Anyhow. So you would adjust this, like I said, if you're a Joey Dake, So like I said, it's just basically timing. Right? You just want to get that timing down, when to release this ball at the right time. I'm just going to, for now, I'm going to go right through that first crotch. So
hold on one second. Let me just pop this out so we can. Are you going to just do the first crotch?
Yeah, I'm just going to go through that
let me
first
just
crotch.
come over here so they can see it before you throw it up here. Yep. Go ahead. Go for it.
That's it. So you just sit here. You got a tree in your yard, great, something that's close where you can hit every day. You can go out and practice several times a day. Maybe you got a park close by to you, or you're hunting woods. Just sit there and just practice. Practice throwing that throw ball. Because like I said,
it's like shooting your bow.
Right. The biggest thing with this is the timing on when you let go of that. And when you get, pretty successful at hitting that one limb, keep challenging yourself, because when you get into a hunting situation, you're going to be challenged. You're going to get out in the woods and you're going to realize, this is a tree I got to get into. Maybe it's a bit busy. And that's when all that practice is going to pay off in throwing this thing. So then you got to go up to your next limb. All right.
Yep, so now you just hit the limb a little bit higher.
Hit the limb a little bit higher, right. And, I might be making this look easy. It's just because I've done it several thousand times. All right. Now we'll go up with the next one.
All right. I was gonna.
But that's basically all it comes down to, is just timing. The more you do this, the easier it comes. I want to show you something too, a little trick. You see how I got that thing?
Hold on. Let me get it up there. Let me zoom in so they can see. Okay.
See how I got that thing rocking back and forth?
Yep. You
Now,
can
if
swing.
you had another limb, well, now I'm caught in the paracord loop. But if you had that another limb, say, 10 or 12 feet higher than that.
Yep.
So, now see how that back and forth, you time it just right. When you pull down on that,
Go.
didn't do it that time, but
Yeah, but it'll actually go up.
it'll go
You can make
up,
it go
right.
up.
Right.
And that paracord loop that's
Yeah,
up there
it's
is
just
not
getting
helping.
in my way. But I think you get the picture.
Yeah. We could show that on like that apple tree close.
Right, yeah. But that's it. Like I said, just all comes down to timing, throwing it. It's really not that hard. When like the more you do it,
Oh, nothing but net there. That was good.
nothing but net. I meant to do that.
Here's the thing. I want to just interject here a little bit because Scott's got all this experience and I was on the learning curve with this. So I think I'm a lot like a lot of you guys that are starting out. I had the same questions and subtle things like putting your climbing line back into the cube. How do you put it in the cube so it doesn't tangle?
Well, throwball line, right? Back into the cube?
Yep.
All right. So, now especially now that we came up with this, I mean, Westberg kind enough to make or use a distributor that made a real user-friendly throw line cube for us that goes right back in our pack. Doesn't take up hardly any space. The nice thing now is that, when this rope's all over the forest floor, now all you do is just flake it right back into this cube.
Just right on top of itself.
Right on top of itself. So you're not.
You don't want to coil it up. You
Right.
don't want to try and coil it up like over your hand or wrap it up. It'll
Right,
get
that's
actually easier to get tangled that way.
Yep.
This way, you're just going to flake it right in there.
Right into the bag. And then, once it's in there, this just folds up. Very simple. Goes right in your pack. Got a Velcro strap on it too. That's the nice thing about that.
Yeah. Now, Scott, can you throw your line maybe up into either this tree or the tree next to it or something? And one of the things that I've struggled with is sometimes it's really frustrating when you throw your line up into a tree. It's not exactly over the limb where you want it or the one that you want. Or maybe your line is further away from the trunk of the tree than you want it to be. And you want to get it, you want to kind of reposition it, but you don't want to have to rethrow it if you can help it.
Right.
So like, I'm thinking like maybe this tree that's right next to it, if you could throw it in there out away from the tree and kind of show how you would like, get it to where you want it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining myself properly here, but, you get your line up into the tree. It's kind of a busy tree.
Right.
But it's not exactly where you want it. Maybe you're a limb too high or something, one too high, and you want to get it on the limb beneath it, that kind of thing.
I mean, yeah, you could pull it off of that limb. You would slowly pull that throw ball back. If the limbs were pretty much in line with one another, more than likely when it comes off of the upper limb, it's going to fall past your target limb.
Right.
If they're a little offset, you pull it over that limb, and it's going to drop right over your next limb.
Yep.
That'll go to your advantage. The one thing I don't worry too much about, like for instance, that upper limb, right? If we were to,
which limb are you shooting? Oh, okay.
Get it over. All right.
Okay, so hold on. Let me, like right there, before you pull that tight, I just want to show something here. He's over a small, it's kind of hard to see here while I'm filming. Hopefully you guys can see it well. You see that small limb that's moving. His throw line's actually over that small little limb. And you're gonna find that a lot. You're gonna throw it in there, and you're gonna be over other limbs and stuff, but you can just pull it tight.
Right.
And
yeah. You would pull that right through there. Right?
yeah, that'll be no
and
problem.
Even if it doesn't come off with your throw line.
Yeah, your climbing line
once it goes all the way down, the weight of your climbing line. And like, for instance, even if we were over several of these small little limbs, once your climbing line's up in that,
Yep.
the weight of that, once when you pull your climbing line up, you're going to clear yourself of all these smaller limbs that are in the way.
Yep.
A lot of times too, you could snap them right off of it. If something really hangs up on it.
Right. Now, I know we've shown this before, but sometimes, and I've had this happen to me a lot, I'll throw my throw line up into a tree, and that's twice. That's pretty good, man. You're good.
Lots of years of practice.
You'll throw your throw ball up into a tree, and the ball won't make it all the way down.
Yes.
Because maybe you're over several limbs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you want to get your throw ball to come all the way down to the base of the tree, but you can't get it.
A good tip for that. Let's see if we can find the right crotch for that. Let's try this crotch here, maybe. All right, here's a good example. All right, it's caught on a piece of bark.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's two ways I would do this. The ball's not going to make it to the ground. You may have seen me do this. This is kind of simulating a bowstring. All right, where you would just get some tension and then release. A lot of times
and then it comes all the way down.
That would come down.
Yep.
Now you may get some instances where that won't come down. Okay. Here, I'll show you what I can do here.
Show them with the stick.
I'll show you a little trick.
Yeah, we used this the other day, and it's such a simple little thing, but
this works really good.
I was struggling with it.
Right. Now I have the ball's actually sitting in the crotch.
Yeah, let me show this. 'Cause I want to. The ball's there, but it's actually stuck in a piece of.
Yeah, it's not.
It's in a tight crotch.
Right, but it's not stuck.
It's not really a tight crotch. It's in the bark, but
in the bark.
It's acting like a tight crotch, which actually works perfectly.
And that'll happen sometimes too.
Yeah.
So what I would do for that, if you run into that situation where you do the flip with the bowstring and it's still not coming down to the ground, this is a great little trick, man. Just tie 2 overhand loops and put the second one behind the first one. Just tie it right to the tip of that. Okay, so basically now what you want to do is, you say if it's stuck, see, trying to get it stuck. That's how it's going there.
Kind of stuck in there now.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. It's really not going to show what I'm trying to do. But anyhow, I guess you kind of get my drift. But what you would do, this stick is acting as like a 3-foot extension of your arm.
It's like a fishing pole.
Right. And all you're going to do is just whip it. So you whip that slack right up, and a lot of times that'll
whip it up through that tight spot.
Right, it whips it up through that tight spot. I think we showed that once with your actual climbing line too. When your climbing line gets stuck in a tight crotch, and how I would roll that rope up.
Right.
All right. I mean,
it's the same principle,
this
really.
Is like trying to roll a piece of spaghetti, cooked spaghetti. You know,
Yeah.
it isn't doing it. That's where the stick comes in handy. So if it is, if it's stuck, well, now it's not. But anyway, with this stick, it gives you that whip. So you can't get that whip.
You'll never get that with your arm.
You can even see that from the ground, right? I couldn't do it as violent.
Right.
So that's going to give you that whip, that extra extension. This comes in handy, man.
Yep.
And these are everywhere in the woods.
We're selling them now.
Yeah, we are selling them.
We're selling them at a discount.
Discount, yeah. COVID-19 discount.
Yep.
That's it. But anything else you can think of? Any pitfalls?
No, I mean, the only other thing that I thought I've used it a couple of times was when I throw my line up into a tree and I want to get my climbing line closer to the trunk, but I'm maybe over a couple of limbs.
Right.
And I want to pull it back, but it's like it's too busy. There's too many limbs. What I've done is I tie the alpine butterfly in one side and pull another. I'd have two throw balls.
Right.
Pull another one from the back side up so that it falls into where I want it and let it drop
Like
down.
what we did.
Like we did the other day.
The other day there, yeah.
Yep. It's kind of hard to really simulate that here, but I mean we can simulate that like with the apple tree. Kind of, we can walk over there and just at ground level just so we can kind of show exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll definitely work. Let's do that.
All right, guys, we're going to do a quick demonstration of what we're talking about before. When you throw your line, we're going to show it down low here on this apple tree, and going to show how when he throws his line up over a limb that he wants, but there's another limb in the way, we're going to kind of demonstrate that, some of the things you can do.
Right. So basically, just so you guys know, so just say this is your target limb. That's the one you want, okay? But it's in a busy tree. The only way possible to hit that limb is say 20, 30 feet out, okay? Because of course when you're straight up underneath the tree, it's almost impossible to throw this, okay? So now you're 20, 30 feet away from the base of the tree. Now you can easily hit your target limb, okay? So now you're over your target limb. I don't want to be that sucker. One sec. And always be careful when you pull, that's one thing too. When you pull that throw ball back, just remember, it's a weapon when it's coming back.
Yeah, that thing can come back like 100 miles
an hour. You
an
don't want to get hit with that.
Knock you
anyway, you got to go back to that Joey D. And so we're going to throw, see, I can't even do it.
Come on, you hit the limb 30 feet. You can't hit it 5 feet away.
Maybe I need you to hit the 5-foot limb.
You can reach up there and just put it in there.
I could, but all right. So there we go.
Right.
So now, okay, throw balls down to the ground. All right.
But you can see you got that limb in the way.
This limb would be in the way. So if you were going to tie in here, okay, and then go to pull yourself up, just think about this being your climbing line. Now you're over this limb too. And this limb could also be 10 feet away from the trunk of the tree. Right now that's creating a lot of friggin' friction, there's a lot of drag there. Plus the fact, remember too, the closer you get up to your target limb, that rope would be coming back on an angle like this.
Yeah.
All right,
let me just stop you right there. This is one of the nice things about SRT.
Yes.
Is that you could canopy hitch around all that and not have to worry about that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's one of the benefits of going to SRT.
Yes, it is. Okay, but we've come up with a solution to this too. So if you guys get into this type situation, now I'm going to show you what to do. Now what we would do, alpine butterfly is tied midline. So I'm just going to untie it and then tie it again. I'm going to give you two scenarios here. Okay, so tie an alpine butterfly, okay? Middle one, come out and go around all of them. Okay. It's a good idea to always have in your pack. Carry a second throw ball with you. All right, so now what we do, you would tie in your second throw ball. Right? Go back to your first one. Now this would be your line. So now you're going over the limb, the undesirable limb, and then drop your throw ball through.
Right.
Okay? Now it would be coming down.
And now you got
now you have it. Now you're over your target limb. Okay? Both your lines are on the right side of the tree.
Yep.
Now the other thing, we can do another scenario too. This is nice because you're not, being that you use an alpine butterfly and you can tie it midline or, exactly where you need that to be. The other way that you could do it, it's another step. This is actually the easier step. The other step would be to go all the way through to the end of your line, you would have to untie it from your bag, okay?
You'd probably need more line too to do the second one, right? Because you figure you're up and over your limb.
If you're over, if you're 20 feet up or 30 feet up, I think you're going to have enough line, being that, like I said, we carry 100 foot or 150 foot of this line.
Yep.
But then, like I said, now what you would have to do is go to the end of your line where it's tied to your cube, and then you would have to rethrow just that limb. Okay.
Yep.
Now, once it's down that limb,
you just pull it over.
then you would pull
The rest of your,
just like I said, it's just a little bit more.
A little bit more work.
Work, right? But it's
Same idea.
Right.
It gets same end result. Yep. Well, you know what? Here's the thing about the two different methods. The alpine butterfly, when you do it that way, you actually create a little bit of drag of friction on the back side of that, because now you're pulling it over the other way.
Right.
And sometimes your throw ball is almost too light.
Yeah, right, exactly, because now your throw ball's pulling two lines
That's
down.
right, instead of just the one.
And that where, they're both 14 ounces. That's where it actually pays maybe, have a 16 ounce ball.
Yep.
Because then if you get into that, this is just
these are things that you get, most of the time for us, and this is the thing we got to stress to you guys, 95% of the time we do this, we're doing all this in the off season.
Right, exactly.
We're doing this when we're not, not in the middle of hunting. I mean, look, we've gone out and we've hunted afternoons where we've thrown the throw ball and climbed, it could be done.
Yeah.
But it's more movement, there's more potential for noise, that kind of thing. If you have a difficult tree and you have to use these tactics, you don't want to get in the middle of a frustrating tree.
Right.
When you're trying to be close to bedding, you know what I mean? So,
right. But it's having that second throw ball is just the way to remedy that problem that much faster.
Right.
Where you're not saying like, all right, maybe it took you 10, 15 tries to hit that target limb.
Yep.
And then you're like, man, I got to pull this out and try it again.
Yeah, you want to kill yourself.
Okay, so now in that situation where you were over both, now, like I said, they're just trying to show you a little quick tip. If you use the alpine butterfly, tie your second ball on, and then pull so your ball comes over that limb and then down.
Yep.
And it's just getting you in the tree that much faster, that's all.
Yep.
Like I said, it's just, it really comes down to, like I always say, if you use your imagination, man, it can be limitless.
Yep.
It's endless,
Yeah, you can't, sometimes you gotta get a little creative, because every tree's a little bit different.
Right.
And you gotta play around with them sometimes. And it's just, this is the thing with this is, for me, this entire system, I don't care what rope climbing method you're using, whether it's SRT, DRT, the hardest thing is getting really good with accuracy with the throw ball, and dealing with difficult trees and limbs and this and that, and finding those little tips and tricks that will get you exactly where you want to be in the tree.
Exactly.
And the more you do it, the more you learn, the better you get.
Sure.
And then after you've been doing it a while, it's like, all right, it was hard and frustrating in the beginning, but it's really not hard.
No,
it's like anything else. It's just a
and
learning,
that's why
little
we
bit of a learning
stress all
curve.
the time, and you've been doing it a lot in the videos as well too, telling guys, I mean, look, we're almost in April now, but it never ends for us.
Yep.
The minute the season ends, man, we're back out there again looking for new spots,
Yep.
throwing into different trees, setting up different trees. And the thing is that when you're constantly doing this all the time, it just becomes easier and easier.
Yeah, the experience.
And then you look at a tree and you'll say, before you even throw the throw ball, you'll know exactly how everything's going to, all right, I'm going to end up over that limb, but now I have this solution to get, with the second throw ball, it's not going to frustrate me. I'm going to be able to drop it down over the other limb and get my preset loop set up, or like you say, if you're in the middle of a hunt, it's midday and you're like, you move. I got to get into there. Now, just by carrying that second throw ball,
you just made your life easier.
You made it easier.
Yep.
So, but like the more you do it, the more your mind is like, oh yeah, okay, I got that.
Yep.
You're not gonna hit a brick wall.
Yeah. I found, like, for me, guys, when I first started, first couple times, it was honestly, it was very frustrating, especially if I was in an area where there's like a lot of undergrowth, and my throw line's getting tangled up in it and everything, and it's just sometimes it get really frustrating. But I found, you know, just little tips and tricks really makes your life easier, and then, you know, now it's nothing.
Right.
But you know, I can understand the frustration. I've seen some guys, what they'll do too. Some guys will actually use what's called a docker pole, and that's not a bad idea too. You know, it's just, I mean,
it's just something else you got to carry.
Something else you got to buy and carry. You know, you're not going to be able to get as high with a docker pole, but if you're just trying to get something within 30 feet, it's probably a pretty easy way to go.
Yep.
You know, so you can, what a docker pole is it's basically a collapsible, telescoping pole. That's a lot of like window washers use them, or painters, and you just put something on the end of it where you can hang your throw ball on it, get it up over your limb, extend it out, put it over the limb, and drop it down. And now you're not throwing the throw ball, but you are very limited. Docker poles are not really very cheap. And, you know, it's something you got to carry in. But, you know, there's guys that use those and they'll work too.
Right. You know, but the thing is, if the throw line is really frustrating you, it's, you know, the docker pole, I guess, is a quick fix.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, if it's somewhere close, because you don't want to carry that thing 2 miles in.
Yeah, right.
You know,
you don't want to be carrying that with your bow.
Just, if you stay at this with the throw line, you keep after it, and
it's really
keep
not bad.
practicing it.
Yeah.
You'll see that it's not going to be as frustrating as it was in the beginning.
Yep.
And like I said, you know, that's the thing with us saddle hunters is, you know, we're into that minimalist approach to hunting. So the less we have to bring in the woods with us, the better off we are.
Right. Yeah, I mean, a docker pole can work. You know, maybe if in the post and preseason when you're doing your presets, that's something that some guys could utilize.
Right.
But this is going to be something where when you're hunting, you can take it with you.
Right.
You can move. It's going to be a smaller thing, and once you're good at it, like now. In the beginning, I was thinking like, maybe I should get a docker pole. But now that I've been practicing, it's like, I don't need a docker pole.
And I'll tell you another thing too. Listen, like I said, don't let this frustrate you, because even me, when I lost countless of these up in tight crotches.
Yeah.
Where I had to, you know, cut the line, do this, whatever. You know, I mean, these things are probably still in trees today.
Yep.
From 30 years ago, you know, 35 years ago. So, you know, I went through it too. And at first, you get so frustrated, you're like, oh, screw this, man, I don't want, you know. But you'll become, trust me, you keep practicing, you'll become deadly with this, man.
Yeah.
You'll be able to walk out into your woods, any tree you see, you know, yep, I can hit that limb, I can hit, no problem,
Yeah.
I'll get into it.
I got there really pretty quickly.
You do, it is, it's very fast, you know, like anything else, just practice. You know, the more you practice with it, the deadlier you'll become with it. You'll be able to hit any crotch, any tree that you see. You'll know that you can walk into a hunting scenario and like, yeah, I got this, no problem.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I hope that cleared a couple things up for you guys. You know, if you do have questions, like I said, always feel free to hit Joe and I up, and you know, we'll do our best to answer you or make videos to help you out.
Yeah, if you guys have, you know, if you want us to make a video, you know, always put it in the comments section as something that you know, because a lot of times if you have a question about something, there's other people that have a question about it.
Right.
And, you know, it's hard for us to always be able to make a video really quickly on stuff, but we'll do the best we can. If we can, if it's something we can put together for you, we'll try to help you out with it.
And then, you know, video is always a lot easier too. You know, it's like I say, picture's worth 1,000 words. So if we can show you, and hopefully after that you'll be able to grasp it and work it into your scenario as well. So.
Yep. Listen, guys, before we let you go, if you haven't already, do us a favor, hit subscribe. If you haven't, send us a friend request on Facebook at New York Saddle Hunter Forum on Facebook, just to keep in touch with us. If you got questions, a lot of people will send us private messages, and we're trying to help guys out as best we can. We're both kind of limited. We both work full time, but you know, we will eventually get back to you if you have a question. And there's been times where people have had difficulty with things, and we'll tell them to video themselves, send us the video so we can see what they're doing.
We can see it. We'll catch the mistake you're making, or just maybe it's just a quick little tip to improve your situation for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're happy to try and help you guys out any way we can.
Definitely.
So all right. So thanks for watching. Climb safe and best of luck.
Best of luck, guys. Take care.